All right, we're going to continue on with the AATT, Absolute Arrival Time Technique. Only this time we're going to use it for OD connected flaws. So let's take a look back at our notched block, and I'm going to put the notches up this time. So if we had, OD connected flaws, they'd be similar to what we're looking at with the notches like this. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to take our sound and we're going to bounce it in to each of the notches. And we're going to see two things again, the same two things. We're going to see a loud corner trap signal at the end of leg 2. Last time we were working at the end of leg 1. But for the OD notches, we're going to be working at the end of leg 2. So we're going to take the 45 and bounce it up into the corner trap signal. We'll get a nice loud corner trap signal again. And then we can push up with our sound and peak up on the tip signal and get a depth to the tip. So for example, if we had our 060 notch over here, we should get 600 deep to the corner signal because we're going to go down 300 and up 300 into the corner. So we should see that corner trap signal near 600 deep. And the tip signal should be about 60 less than that. We should see that at about 540 deep. We could use the trig function and plug in the thickness of the part as 300 and ask the machine to do the work for us. But I find that people, they get goofed up with that function. They think it's going to help them, but I see people make a lot of mistakes. It's better to think it through, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and try this on the machine. All right, we're going to do OD sizing. We're going to just take an absolute measurement to the depth of the tip in the second leg for the OD notches. And this might bore you, but I'm going to repeat myself that a good habit to get into is when you go to do something, recall your cal, check your cal, set your gain, and then go. So this is going to, hopefully this is repetitive and you'll get the idea that this is a good practice. If you don't do this, you end up getting goofed up. I see this all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and recall the cal. I'm going to go to my file menu, open my 45, open. 45 is selected, open, 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 contents, recall, and press any key to continue. Okay, recall the cal, check the cal. So I'm going to check to see that the 4 side drill holes are where they should be. Here's the 100 hole. 1 is near 1. Here's the 2. 2 is near 2. Here's the 3. 3 is near 3. Here's the 4. 4 is near 4. We're good. Okay, we're going to be working with the OD notches on the notch block. The notch block is 300 thousandths thick. So I'm going to go ahead and use the 300 hole to set my gain. Here's the 300 deep side drill hole. Remember the mantra here. Recall the cal, check the cal, set the gain. I'm going to set the gain to whatever side drill hole is closest in thickness to the part I'm working with. Which, that notch block is 300 thick. Folks might say, yeah, but you're going to the OD, so shouldn't you really use 600? Actually, you could set the gain on the 600 hole. That would be the 4 hole in the second leg. Here's the 400 deep hole. And here it is in the second leg at 600 deep. So I could set my gain to that, bring that to 50%. But I'm going to go ahead and just use the single thickness, 300. And the gain is not that big a factor in the whole thing. You don't want to get into a habit of using way too much gain, though. That's going to throw you off. To most people, the gain I'm using looks like not enough gain, but it's generally speaking good. All right, so a little bit of a sidetrack there. General mantra when you're starting: recall the cal, did that. Check the cal, did that. Set the gain. All right, the 300 deep side drill hole should be near 50%. It is. Set the gain. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and enable the reference dB function. I've got that now. Recall the cal check, the cal set the gain, and go. All right, let's look at these notches. And I think I'll start with, I won't start with the 10 thou notch or the 30 thou because I don't have enough resolution with my 5 megahertz transducer to see those tip signals. I'm going to start with the 60. I should be able to distinguish that tip, the tip in the corner. And that's a lot different than the last exercise we did because that corner trap signal now is peaking up near 600 deep on the screen. We have a 1-inch deep screen, so the 6th major division represents 600 thousandths in depth. So to get to this corner trap signal up here, we're going down 300 and up 300. In the depth dimension, the up and down dimension, we've traveled 600. So that corner trap signal is right where it belongs, at 600 deep. And then the tip signal is fairly obvious there too now. So the depth of that notch is equal to the depth of the corner minus the depth to the tip. So let's see if we can peek up on that corner. I'm going to take some dB out. And I'm peeking up on the corner trap. I'm just going to call that 600. It's very close. Let's go back to reference dB. And now I'm going to peek up on the tip. Back and forth. Oscillate. Back and forth. Right there, I'll say. So I want to put that in the gate, although I could read that right off the screen. I'm past the 5th major division, so it's going to be 500 something. These small divisions on the bottom of the screen are 20 each, or the dots are 20 each. So 520, 40, looks like about 550. I could have the gate do it for me. 548. So when I peek up on it, I see 548. Go ahead and fill that in the book. There's 60 thou notch. The depth to that tip is actually 540. And what did we get? I got 548. Go ahead and fill that in pencil. 548. Pretty close. All right, let's unfreeze and try another one. I'm going to go back to my reference dB. There we go. Let's try the next one. The next one is the 90. Start with a big motion so you see everything. And I've got that loud corner trap signal at 600 deep. I'm going to say it is 600. And now I'm going to look for my tip signal near the end of leg 2. Oscillate. Back and forth. Oscillate. All right, let's read that. Freeze. 518. The depth to the tip is 518. So it actually is 510, but I got 518. Pretty close. I'm not going to complain about that, actually. All right, let's try the next one. Unfreeze. Go back to reference dB. And the next one is the 120. Start with a big back and forth motion so you see everything. There's my corner trap signal at 600. There's my tip signal. Oscillate. Back and forth. Oscillate, back and forth. So I'm going to call it right there. I'm going to freeze this hand and put that in the gate. We'll just use the digital number, freeze. Okay, 589 or 489. So the depth to that tip is actually 480, and I got 489. 489. All right, pretty close. All right, let's try the next one. Unfreeze, go back to reference dB. The next one is the 150. Well, we start out with a big motion so you see everything. Yeah, that is the corner trap signal there, right near 600. Push up to look for the tip. Actually, I'm seeing a couple of tips here. Actually, what I'm seeing here is the 45 is trying to create a corner, a virtual corner here, by connecting that tip to the ID. So this is actually my tip here. Back and forth, oscillate, back and forth, oscillate. All right, I'm going to call it right there. Add 6 dB to put it in the gate, freeze it. 457 is the number to the depth to the tip. .457, the actual depth to the 150 is 450, but I got 457. 457, pretty close. All right, unfreeze. Go back to reference dB. Try the next one, the 180. Start with a big back and forth motion. There's my corner trap signal at the end of a full V, at the end of the second leg. There's my tip signal. There's my virtual corner, and that's me rubbing up against the notch at the beginning of leg 1. All right. Full V to the corner. Here's the tip signal. Back and forth, oscillate. I'm going to call it right there. Put it in the gate, freeze it. 429 to the tip. .429. All right, I see a pattern here. I seem to be approximately plus 8 thousandths too deep on every one. All right, let's try the next one, the last one. Go back to reference dB. And there's our corner trap signal. There's our tip signal. That is the 45 trying to create a corner down here from the notch because it's hanging down so low. But this is actually our tip signal here. So I think I've peaked it up just about right there. 409. The depth to that tip is actually 390. I had it at 409, so I was off a little bit on that one. All right, but that's the general idea. And the notch depth is 600 minus these numbers. All right, so try that with yours and try and do everything in pencil. All right, thanks a lot.